and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZ. And let's jump into today's episode.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is where you are, good that time to you. This is Monique, back again with another fashion hot topics, fashion update, and yeah, so let's jump right into it. Now, I know I said I was going to do an episode on the Wisdom K times Miu Miu thing, and I recorded it, but I have to go back and edit, and the files are in all different places, so just give me grace with that one. I also recorded an episode about the Labubu. Y'all, it's so much going on. It's so much going on that I have to get back to, but I wanted to pop in the meantime. Oh yeah, there's another episode. Another episode is coming about Shein and how Shein or Sheen, whatever, however y'all call it, they stole Z's design for Eagles t-shirt, and literally this is a print that she made on her computer herself, t-shirts she made on her computer herself, that Shein stole her design and now is selling her design around the world for this Eagles t-shirt. All those episodes are coming, so stay tuned, but I'm popping in for a fashion update episode. So let's jump right into it. Skims has come out with a bush thong, basically a thong in all different shades of colors, skin tones, and hair colors, where basically on top of the thong is curly hair. Well, actually different textures. They got 4C, 4B, B1, B3, I don't know. They have the different hair textures, the different curls. Some are even straight. We got blonde, we got ginger, we got black hair, brown hair for all the girls. And apparently this bush thong has sold out. It has sold out. I don't know if y'all know, y'all can grow hair. Y'all can grow hair yourself. Is it that you want the look of the bush and then to take it off and have a knob? Like, what are we going for here? Is it that you got laser hair removal and now the hair can't grow back and now you miss it? What? Anyway, let's get into what the people are saying about this.
This is a new Skims product, created and produced by Kim Kardashian and her team. Their new micro G string with faux pubic hair called the Ultimate Bush. So now you and your coochie can have the ultimate couture. They have every color, every combination to match whatever wig or hairstyle color that you desire. And they're sold out. You can get the sienna curly blonde. You could get the ginger straight. They've got the classic black curly. Baby, they even have cocoa brown. But if there's one thing our girl knows how to do, it's how to market, and it's how to get people talking. And today, I was years old when I learned what a stunt product is, and I think that's what this is. So a stunt product is a real or fictional item created specifically for a public relations stunt to generate attention and buzz for a brand, product, or cause. Chef's kiss, she did that. I'm talking about it. Attention has been grabbed. Yesterday, our girl Kim took to her stories on Instagram and showed a lineup of what the release is going to look like and what we can expect. And it's also right around Halloween. So if we want to incorporate these into our costumes, brilliant.
Okay, guys. So just to pop back in, she mentioned a stunt product in her analysis of this Skims line. Now, is this a stunt product or is this something that will be just made for years to come from the Skims brand? I don't know. Because if you recall that, a lot of people thought that nipple bra that Skims came out with years ago was also a stunt product. It was a bra where the nipple was poking out on the outside of the bra. So when you put on the bra, it still looks like you have on no bra. Was it called the no bra? Um, and while I think that maybe started off as a stunt product, it then turned into um, a bra for people who have possibly had surgeries or had breast cancer, maybe don't have a nipple anymore, or maybe had their nipples removed because of an accident or something. So it became like this kind of women's empowerment bra. Now, I feel like this underwear thong is going to become the same thing. Like, this is bush empowerment or hair empowerment. Maybe people who also, again, have cancer or who can't grow hair or who are fighting against the patriarchy of not growing hair. This will be their thing, like the bush thing. Now, to mention some other stunt products, I feel like Balenciaga does stunt products a lot. I don't know if you remember their tape bracelet. It was like masking tape or packaging tape that said Balenciaga on the inside of the tape. And it was literally, you put your hand through the big thing of packing tape and that's your bracelet. Or those Mischief red boots, the brand Mischief, that had those giant red boots that to me looked exactly like what you would find in a classic Mario game, or from the Luigi Brothers, or Mario Kart type character boots. Those, I believe, were also a stunt product. Those blow up balloon shoes from Rick, I believe those are Rick Owens' product. We actually blow the balloon shoes up till they get to this size. I believe that is also a stunt product. It gets the people going, gets the people talking, and people start looking at your brand to see what else your brand has to offer. Now, do these work to get you in the news and the press? Yes. Does it actually lead to sales of other things? I think also yes. I think, and again, this podcast always goes back to what can you do in your fashion business, in your fashion brand, using what we see in the fashion world to get you more success, more money, more funds. Why don't you come out with a stunt product? Get some press. What is the most ridiculous thing you can do in your brand that could possibly also lead to sales of other items in your brands? Maybe you weren't going to go on Skims to buy the bush thong, but it's what brought you to the website, and now you're looking at their regular thongs. Maybe you weren't going to go on their website to look at their nipple bra, but now you are looking at their other bras and options. It gets people to the site. It gets people's eyes on your brand. What can you do in your brand like this? Now, for me, obviously, I have an evening wear collection. I mostly make gowns and evening wear. What can I incorporate into my brand as a stunt product? I think like a lot of corsets. Corsets are trending right now. Also corset dresses. Maybe I could do a backwards corset where the boob of the corset and all that stuff is on the back, but in the front you actually have all strings and no coverage at all. Just strings going across your boobs and your belly button, and everything is out, but your back is fully covered and concealed. That could be a stunt product. Why? Because it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What else? Let's think. I could do maybe the skirt on your head, maybe like an upside down dress where it's like a mermaid and it's tight at the bottom, but it flares out like a wide mermaid towards the top. In my mind, I'm thinking like how that Cardi B outfit was, where it looked like she was a pearl coming out of a seashell. Like, what if I did an upside down dress kind of like that, but just even more ridiculous, where your whole head and everything was covered? You can't see it all. That would be a stunt product. Let's think of another example. What about if you have a t-shirt line or a hoodie line? Maybe the hood could be backwards, to where like the opening is the back of your head. Maybe the hood could be extremely oversized, almost like an umbrella size, to where it's just so in your face and ridiculous that it grabs attention. What can you do as a stunt product within your company? Create ads around, create social media around, content around, that's going to get more eyes on your brand. Think about that. That is your homework for the week. In the meantime, let's share a couple more views on this Coochie Couture bush thong.
Skims Ultimate Bush Thong? Is that what the fuck is happening? No, y'all gotta come with me and see this in person. Look at it. No, that's really pussy hair. And it's coarse and textured. Wait, why do I like it? Okay, babe, so I arrived at Tyson's Mall in Virginia where they have a new Skims look, which opened October 1st. And honestly, it's running beautifully. The staff was amazing, very accommodating. The store was clean, all the things, great shopping experience, Now back to the Bush Thongs. These are $32. And I don't mind that price. That's like a lace front on your poo-poo. Wait, am I obsessing? Would you guys wear these? They have them in different colors, different textures, and I don't know, I'm really feeling it. Yes, so I asked my babe to bring me out 2 different kinds so I can see the difference, and this is my favorite one. I was mostly intrigued by this. I just love it so much. I think it's just so unique and cute. Like just imagine having a ball.
Just to show you what she is looking at, she is walking us through the Skims store and showing us the thongs in person. And it is just so interesting to me. It's literally like a short wig on your underwear. It's a sight to see. I really just don't think y'all need to buy this for $32 when you could grow it and it's free. But it could be me. It could be, that could just be my interpretation. And who am I? Who am I anyway?
I'm sorry, but how are these a thing? I'm like, wait. Like, what? There's no way. Oh my gosh, they have them. Oh my gosh. This is just comical.
I feel like honestly it's kind of like a keepsake.
It's a keepsake, you guys.
Maybe like an extra large or a 2 extra large. You guys were getting one, I don't care. I don't know, what color, I don't know.
Okay, so that's enough of the Skims Bush Couture thong hair is back, happiness, whatever it is. Even though I do think it's slightly ridiculous, I also think, hello, that is the point of fashion. That is the point of having fun in life. And that is the point of business. In order to make it in business, you have to catch people's eye. And that for sure is catching people's eye. Now let's go into the next topic. I saw this post where this girl talked about different stylists being invited to front row of Fashion Week, and just how young fashion influencers, stylists, and people who are actually making a name for themselves in this fashion industry are starting to get invited to these big fashion shows. So let's hear her perspective on what's happening. Let's see if I can go back.
Major happened at Fashion Week this year. For the first time, it feels like the gatekeepers are being replaced, or at least joined, by the people who built their own stages. We are witnessing a change of the guard. Fashion Week used to be ruled by editors, buyers, celebrities, stylists. Those were the only people who were able to get in. But this season, I feel like was the first time we were really starting to see that it wasn't just the traditional elite, it was the people who've built their own audiences online. More than ever has made it clear you don't need to be let in through the front door, you can build your own. The new power players. Brenda was everywhere this season, like she normally is. But I just noticed more and more where she's starting to be placed at these fashion shows. She was literally behind front and center Anna Wintour during the Tom Brown show. What I love about her is she's an industry insider, but also is a content creator and influencer. As someone who is getting into the industry during her rise, it's been really cool to watch how she's been navigating those two things. I feel like she represents a very big shift from institutional credibility into community credibility. All right, Kim Russell, the Kimbino, she's obviously been around for a while too, if you've been on fashion Instagram. But what really stuck out to me was this photo that Kim Kardashian posted of her. This isn't a cute, internet moment, it's a signal. Everything she does is calculated and strategic. The fact that she posted shows that she wants to be aligned with Kim Russell. I also just love this full circle moment where she's wearing one of the items that she saw at her first Rick runway show last year, and I love this for her. Others in the creator class is like I Deserve Couture, Hot Low Mode, Data But Make It Fashion, Must Be Margiela. They're not competing. They're each playing in their own lane, and that's what's powerful. In this new era, your individuality is your access. Now for the more visibly honest shift, La Watch Party. As a spontaneous idea, but became one of the most talked about moments in fashion this year. I've been saying it, and I will say it again, fashion needs its own ESPN. He turned Fashion Week into something you had to be invited to, into something you can now participate in. So what does all this mean? They're all different, but they share one thing. They created their own legitimacy. And brands are paying attention. Cultural influence can't just be bought. It has to be earned. And the new...
Okay, so again, I think that people take for granted the opportunity that social media and content creation and even things like this podcast, the opportunity it creates for us who aren't necessarily in these spaces in person or don't have the connections or the network to be in these spaces in person. If you build your career history, your experience talking about fashion, talking about whatever you like talking about science, talking about engineering, talking about whatever. If you build your own platform, then you will eventually be in the same spaces as the people who have these connections and networks. You build your own authority. I know a lot about fashion design. I have my bachelor's in fashion design. I've owned my boutique for 10 years. I've been a working fashion designer making money, paying my bills with my brand for 15 years. Obviously, I have the experience to talk about and give advice on what I'm doing and see and give you advice on what other brands are doing as well. And the fact that I'm doing this on my own, creating a podcast on my own, building that authority up on my own, gives me more legitimacy than somebody who isn't. And if you're waiting for somebody else to give you legitimacy, you could possibly be waiting your whole entire life. Now, what she pointed out in this clip, her Instagram name is Girl Into Fashion. What she pointed out in this clip was the people who have built their own platforms are now sitting next to the people who have all this legitimacy in corporate fashion world. The girl sitting behind Anna Wintour, this stylist who is taking pictures with Kim Kardashian, this other influencer who is sitting in front row at this place. We are now equals. If you build up your brand to millions of followers or listeners or views, and you have the capability to sit next to the people who have been working at Vogue for 20 years. One hand feeds the other. But you have to start. You have to start. So if this is your passion, if this is your goal, you have to realize nobody is going to hand you opportunities unless you start building up your experience, your legitimacy, your resume on your own. And then all of a sudden, you'll be invited into spaces that you could have never dreamt of, okay? So I just want you guys to take that away from her clip as well. Let's get into one last thing for our fashion update. Okay, I just want to end this video with things talking about the economic place that maybe America or the world is going. So a couple things. One, in the fashion industry, you see that a lot of suiting and business attire is now trending and coming back into everyday clothing and wear. And this is a sign of an economic downturn. In the past, like the Great Depression in America in the 1920s, when the economy was failing, people started to focus more on jobs, getting jobs, going back to work, trying to look more presentable, trying to look more astute, trying to look more capable and ready to be hired. If you know what's going on in America, then you know that there have there are more unemployed people and people looking for jobs than there are jobs. So jobs are decreasing, people are getting laid off, people are getting fired, but also the people who are looking for jobs are not getting hired. It is becoming very, very hard for people to get a job and to fund a healthy, sustainable life. You see this in the fashion industry where people are now dressing to be hired. They're wearing more ties, they're wearing more business attire, they're wearing more suits. Women as well are wearing more ties, more business attire, more suits, more pencil skirts, more button-up vests. I've been seeing this trend for the past, I want to say full year already, but now it's becoming more and more available and focused on in the forefront. 2, lipstick. Louis Vuitton just did a whole lipstick collection, and a lot of people are saying, oh, lipstick is also a sign of the economy going down, because when you can't afford to buy a new outfit or a new purse or what have you, putting on lipstick as a woman is a way to make yourself feel put together, and it's a very simple luxury. I personally do not like lipstick. I like lip gloss and lashes, but I do feel like it is true that a lot of people are trying to save money, and it's kind of we're fighting with each other, I think, where Americans, because I don't necessarily know how this is in other countries, Americans are realizing that they do not have money to live a comfortable life. They do not have money to afford the car they want, but also have food in the fridge, but also have their bills, but also look the way they want to look and dress the way they want to dress, but also be able to afford keeping their electricity on, or having a dog, or just keeping up with the lifestyle. However, items are being pushed in our face every day between marketing and ads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, social media. When you walk outside, buses, trains, there's advertising everywhere you go, everywhere you look. Somebody's trying to sell you something. And while we have become so accustomed to buy, even just a coffee. You need a coffee every day. Oh, now everybody's into matcha. You need a matcha every day. Oh, no, everybody's into this. You need this. At the same time, your lights are being cut off. Insurance is going up. Bills are going up. Gas is going up. Your car is making new noises. Your apartment is falling apart. It's going to turn into a system where people are fighting for their lives. I think people don't realize yet you can't afford to get coffee outside every day. You literally cannot afford to go to lunch every day. You cannot afford that purse. People in America are still buying like they can afford it, and I promise you they cannot. And the end is near. Another Great Depression, I feel, is on the way, because people are still buying like there's no tomorrow. At the same time, people are getting evicted. People are moving back into their parents' house, moving back in with their sisters. Women are trying to find husbands, which honestly, that's what they wanted for us anyway. Women are trying to find husbands just to have somebody to help with the bills. And it's just not looking good. Another thing in fashion that is a sign of an economic downturn is big purses. Apparently, when the economy is failing, when the dollar value is going down, when people are struggling, the purses get bigger. And the reason why is because people need to carry things for the whole day, because they are out of the house, they are working, they are trying to make money. They might need to bring a change of clothes. They might need to bring their work boots in their bag. They might need to bring the lipstick, the computer, whatever, because they also have people going back into the office because they don't want you working from home anymore, because they need to be able to pay for these office buildings that the company have bought in these downtown areas. So now they're forcing people to go back into work. So now you do need a bigger purse because you have to need to carry more things. Again, fashion shows you how the economy is moving, especially over here in America. I know I have a lot of listeners who are in other countries, and I would love to hear your point of view. Definitely head over to our YouTube page and let me know your opinion and what it's like in your country. But times are changing, and with the economy being how it is, and the presidency being how it is, and the citizens being how they are, and everybody trying to figure out what their next steps are, you are seeing that fashion and style is turning in a way where you can see where we might just be going. Anyway, try to stay positive, guys. I haven't said this in a while, but make sure you count your blessings before you count your money. And I will see you next week. Bye.